Hey, my name is Rafaela and I am a seller on Amazon, and today I'm going to tell you my plan to reach $100,000 in revenue this coming month. My plan is usually just wing it, but I know that if I want to hit $100,000, I have to sit down and really strategize this, because this is one of those plug and play kind of businesses where you got to spend money to make money, and you have to be strategic. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants, especially if it's not Q4. You have to really have a plan to hit your goal. So, based on my current numbers and my current ROI and profit metrics, to make 100,000 in about 30 days, and I have to spend $75,000 to make 100 in revenue, which will leave me about 25 in profit. And you know what? In 30 days, I'm okay with those numbers. That breaks down to about 18. That's right, 18,750 a week, which sounds really high when you talk about spending that much money in a week. But if I'm buying 5 days a week, that's about $3,750 per day that I have to spend on inventory that has at least like a 30 to 35% ROI, so I can hit my 100,000 goal in 30 days. A couple of things I plan to do is start with what I have. I don't want to go too crazy. Like, I'm currently making probably like 50 to 55 every 30 days. So really my plan is to double that. And in order to double that, I just really need to double down on my winners, clean up my systems, and just really like kind of organize, because right now my storage unit is really messy. My packing room is really messy, and a messy environment makes everything really hard to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is audit my inventory. I still have some items sitting, just collecting dust in my garage and my storage unit, and I think I just need to buckle down and send them to FBA. So that'll be great, because technically that money's already spent, but that'll help me hit my goal, because otherwise it's sitting there not making me any money. The next thing that I'm going to do is go through some of my old sellers and what did well, because I have probably, within the few years I've done this, over 800 ASINs in my brain, and you start to not remember everything. So I want to go through my reports and see what sold well before, and if I could find either those products again at those good prices, or potentially like related products in that brand. So for example, one year we sold these camo jackets that did really well. Perhaps I go revisit that and see if those jackets are doing well again, or maybe now that brand has pants or shirts that are doing well. So I'm gonna go back and through my own catalog and audit myself that way. Some more immediate things I could do is I can go through my leads list. I have a pretty extensive leads list. I do have a VA that helps me source. They send me tons of leads, and sometimes, to be honest, I just don't have the energy or the mental capacity for these leads, because they send me so many new brands, and before I buy a new brand, I like to do some research. So if it's not a brand that I immediately connect with or immediately decide I want to sell because I spot it as a winner within like 5 seconds, sometimes I just put it on the back burner or decide not to even bother with it. So I'm going to go back through my leads list and see if there's any winners in there, or things I can at least test, because they could become winners. Some of my best selling products are things my VA sent me in the past. So I'm going to go through my leads list, see if there's any more gems in there. Also, when I go through my leads list, I like to rabbit trail off of those. So if they sent me like a great product, like for example this pen, I might check out that brand, see what else that brand has, and find more ASINs that way. At the time of filming this is actually my technically third year selling, but it's my first back to school season. So I've never sold a back to school season, so I don't have a history of what back to school does for me yet, but I can look at other people's histories through like Keepa charts and things like that. So I'm planning to do some more big ungates. I already ungated some back to school brands. For example, like I can do some backpacks like Jansport. If you've seen any of my previous videos, then you will know that most sellers that signed up after about 2024 do not get access to any of the big name brands like Nike, Puma, Under Armour, Lego, things like that. So us, like quote unquote newer sellers, we have to focus on lesser known brands. But Crayola is a pretty big brand that I got ungated, so I'm really excited to see how much I can make with that. I hear that it's gonna go crazy in August, so I'm slowly stocking up on a lot of crayons. A lot of my spend goal is going to be Crayola. For some reason, don't know why, no rhyme or reason with Amazon sometimes. I am restricted in some bigger brands like Elmer's, which, like, my girlfriend has an account that's new and she can apply for Elmer's, but I can't. So you just never know. You just go with the flow. So Elmer's is not a brand I can ungate, but I'm gonna look into, like, I don't know, who makes Post-its, who makes pens and pencils and other things like that for school. See if any of those are profitable for me so that I can ungate them as well. I still do a lot of FBM. I would say probably 70% of my income is from FBM. So I'm going to also try to take advantage of the FBA program Amazon has and send in more optimized shipments. And an optimized shipment is basically when you send a minimum of 5 identical content boxes with identical content in it. That way it gets checked in faster, it gets like processed faster, which means it's available for sale faster. So that's another plan I have in this 30 days so that I can send it in early, because by the time it checks in and stuff could take up to 2 weeks, that within that 30 days I can start selling it. My next strategy is going to go through my FBA and FBM inventory through my repricer and see if there's anything I can adjust. Maybe I need to adjust my expectations, adjust my strategies, maybe move some of this, the dead weight that I have, some items that may not be doing so good, just liquidate them. I just need to go through all of my inventory that I have and really strategize which products I need to buy more of, which products maybe I should hold, and which products I need to let go of. Part of doing that audit is I'm going to see what my best sellers are this month and really double down and see if I need to order more of them or come up with a cleaner system where I'm restocking them more regularly. So right now, I'm not a very organized person. I do have a couple other businesses, so this is not my full time. So when it comes to ordering, I'll show you later what my storage area looks like. Basically, I just look. If it looks low, I reorder it. But that's not the best strategy. So I'm going to research some better strategies, maybe look up some smarter people's videos on that. But part of my plan to hit 100K is to come up with a more strategic restocking plan. So if you want to join me on this journey, make sure you follow and subscribe, because I'm going to be sharing how I'm going to hit my 100K goal. Might not be this 30 days, but my goal is to be pretty close from the day I film this video. And then also, if you want to join me on this journey, I'll be sharing lots of tips and tricks on how to do that as well. Even if you're just new, if you're just starting, I highly recommend to start following these strategies, because it will help you have a much more successful Q4 when it's so busy that you won't have time to create new systems and things like that. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment below. I will personally respond to them. And if you DM me on Instagram, I can message you there as well. And if you would like to apply for my one-on-one coaching, message me at Rafaela Sells on Instagram. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all the things. This is a newer channel, so your support is really appreciated. Thank you again.